Hello, people of the internet. So today we are going to be assembling the least expensive 12-ton shop press I was able to find on the internet. Um, Most of these things usually run in the ballpark of like 150 bucks. And this one happened to be on sale for 108 on Amazon. So I was in the market for a press, and at that price point, it made it completely and totally worth it for me because around here, it's about $100 an hour at shop. And so, like, if I need anything pressed in or out, it's usually a 1 hour minimum, no matter what. And so, the price point just fit. It's a Garvee, Garvee. Never heard of them. They relatively thin material. I don't think it's even a full 3/16. So there are going to have to be future upgrades. I do believe that this will work for my immediate needs, but it gives me possibility to expand and show some new things. The first 2 points of criticism. So the press plates it comes with, while not being cast, which I know a lot of the inexpensive ones are cast, these are like plate or flat stock that's cut, and they're only about a half-inch thick. They're not hitting on a whole lot. The other thing, and I guess the first upgrade that will get done, is just take the hardware that it comes with and put it in the scrap pile. This is what it came with. Let's see if I can get it in focus. Yeah, so these are the bolts. At least this is one of the bolts that it came with. 4.8 metric. So this is like grade 3 hardware if you're doing Imperial SAE. And so it also comes with just roll stock pins. Where are we at? Yeah, they're just roll stock pins. So the first thing I did, I went down to the tractor store and I picked up some 5/8 hitch pins. These are likely going to be more than strong enough, and they've got a nice little handle. I like these for doing press pins. And then I dug through all my hardware and I picked out grade 8 standard hardware. Yes, the original stuff is metric. I didn't have enough in my metric stuff to do a full set, and so I just went to the closest Imperial size. Should all fit without a problem. Most of these are pretty loose to begin with. This is going to be in height, it's a short press. Now, it is not a bench top press, but in height, it is a short press. I think it's only about 4.5, maybe 5 feet tall. So I'm going to have to do something to it to raise it up a little bit. I like the top of my presses to be about 6.5 feet. So about my height. I'm 6'4", so about my height. And so I got to modify a base for it to get some lift on it. And I got a set of casters to put on there, more of my workbench casters. I know a lot of people don't like them because you got to hit all 4 wheels and stuff like that. But for me, they're easy to get a hold of. They do the job phenomenally, and they're inexpensive. They hit everything. I got a visitor up there. The cat decided to get in the roof. Sorry, I could hear him crying. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Not going to be a lot of mods in this one, but hardware upgrade, base casters. I'm going to do something to hold the jack rod. I've got some simple stuff that I can slap together and hold the jack rod. So let's get started. Okay, so this is fully assembled. It took me, I don't know, maybe about an hour. I did measure it from floor to the top. It is 4 feet 3 inches right here. So I'm definitely not going to get it, at least not right now, to the height that I would prefer it to be at. I'm definitely upgrading to the better hardware is suggested. I would 100% suggest that. A couple things to note right out the gate. I did measure the steel. It is 3/16 through the center here. It's actually a little thinner up here. Not uncommon with channel, but yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. The jack floats. It is not pinned or connected to the jack plate at all. The fasteners that they originally provided, the bolts they originally provided for these, I don't remember the measurement off the top of my head, but they came up closest to 7/16. I was actually able to get 1/2 inch through here. So you need 8 1/2 inch to do the top. You need 2 1/2 inch to do here. These are 5/8 pins. And then down here at the bottom, it's 3/8 bolt. So you need 4 3/8 bolts that are about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. 8 1/2 inch bolts that are about the same length. These are 5/8 by 6 pins, I believe. What are these? These are 5/8 by 6 1/4. 5/8 by 6 1/4, and I have no idea how long these are, but assume, 6.5 inches. So yes, it is most definitely the cheapest 12-ton press that money can possibly buy. Most of the welds seem okay and on some parts. Then you get like over here, and that's a complete shit weld. These are just nuts welded on, and that's not done well. There's slag. I just picked it off, but there's goop of slag there. So yeah, it needs a lot of work. For right now, I want to get it up on, I don't know if I'm going to do 2 4x4s or a combination, maybe a 4x4 and a 2x4. I don't really know. I do want it taller than this. And I don't really dig the crossbeam there. I don't like it when they make these where the hollow channel is in and not out. So I might actually fiddle around with that later and flip them. That way I can box them in at a different date. This is pretty sloppy, by the way. Let me put a foot on here. And I don't know if you can see, but like that tab's bent a little bit. That tab's bent. So yeah, you get what you pay for. I knew that going into this. I know it's going to need some upgrades and updates. Now I got to figure out how I want to do those. So we'll put the camera away for a little bit, and we're going to go back to work. Okay, and a quick update with where we're at on it. So I double stacked some 4x4s, and I didn't give it much purchase past the original mounting pad, but this bar is roughly 16 inches, and this one down here is roughly 20 inches. Like I said, not much, but a little bit. And I went ahead and added just a generic one of those Harbor Freight bar magnets that you can get. I don't know. They used to give them away with stuff. I don't know if they still do or not. Laid it out. I drilled and tapped for some M5 by 0.8 thread because I had a bunch of small length stainless steel button head cap screws laying around that were metric. So that's what I went with. And so that's about it for right now. I need to build, I'm going to take a 2x4 and run it across both of these at the front and the back. I still need to put the casters on. And now that I've got this locked in the way I do, I think I'm safe enough to kind of disassemble this one side at a time and 180 these bars. No, I might not be able to do that. Can't do that because the way the legs mount. Well, I guess I could. Yeah. This center bar will come out to give me more drop. So if I'm doing like an axle shaft or something long, I can get it through there without interfering with anything. I leave these, flip that. Yeah, I can do it. I just can't cut and make the 2x4 strapping yet. That's all. It's easy. Okay, we'll be back in a few. All right, I got one side done. I'm not tight. I've got one side fitted up. So I still need to square everything and lock the bolts in. But this is what I did. I just flipped it around. It's not rocket science. But everything does have to come loose to do this. The other thing that this provided me, so this press is supposed to sit on this. This is the floor cleat, and that piece sits on the floor, and then when it transfers load through the legs, it goes directly to the floor. Well, like this, since I raised it, you can see there's no floor here. So you'd have to put a block underneath there to expand it, preferably a block with like a steel cap on it, because as the wood moves, it would the load transfer could push into the wood, which would damage the wood, which would offset sorry, it's hot. I can't get my thoughts out. Ideally, a larger steel frame would have been what was used. I just don't have the material, and I wasn't running out to the metal supply shop to try to buy some. But I do believe this will work. So far, it looks okay. Again, like I said, right now it's all loose, so I've got to get it squared up and done. But I think I'm going to flip this leg over first and then square up the top, and then I can finish off the base. And hopefully, I think that's going to be about it for mods right now. But we'll see. Like I said, this was more getting the press together to be functional, not modifying it completely out to ideal spec. So that was a little more fiddly than I had given it credit for being. I should have known, given just what it is, but it was a little bit more fiddly, and ratchet strap is definitely your friend getting the width together. It wanted to A out on me, so it was wider at the bottom than it is at the top. But I got it pretty well in there. This is reasonably square to this. I use a speed square, and sometimes with these coatings and stuff, it gets a little hard, but no daylight was coming through, so I figure it's good enough for this. Same thing, I squared up the base there. Now I got 7 inches of extra height, which isn't bad. This should work. Most reasonable length drive shafts that I would be working on for like center support bearings or something like that will be able to fit in there. And if not, I can always, when I go to do a real stand or something, I can always readjust it at a later date. I did field test the hydraulic jack. It works. I'm absolutely sure this is going to be the first thing to get replaced. These guys are nice and snug in there. Again, this thing's wibbly wobbly. The bar magnet for the handle, though, is really nice. That works very well. I think what I'm probably going to do with this, I got my casters on. I think it's definitely going to get boxed. Again, I don't know if you can even tell right here. Right here in it, it's 3/16, but up here, and down here, it's actually thinner. So I'm thinking probably some 18 gauge and plate on the outsides of these, plate the outsides of this. I think I'm probably going to take either some square tube or some angle and come vertically through here, maybe with just a couple pieces, and do that on both sides of this, just to strengthen these lips a little bit. This I think I'll deal with when I change the jack, because I don't like there's no fixture for the jack. So when I go to an air over, a Pneumatic 12-ton, I will get I'll probably build a stand plate here with a couple of lips, a couple of rolled edges, and I will use the springs that come on the air jack instead of these, because I just don't like these mounts. And I'll come up with something to do to take side to side and front to back slop out of this, because these welds need to be redone too. So I'm thinking I might just cut all these brackets off on both sides. Well, it's one bracket, but cut the bracket off of each side and maybe make it out of a thicker material and weld that in and use that thicker material to help take up these gaps. Originally, I was thinking about maybe using like some PVC board strips because I got some 1/4 inch, but I think I don't have enough. I'd have to like tilt it one way or the other. I can't center it with that idea, so that just won't happen. Let's see if the casters work. I say I know a lot of people don't like workbench casters. They're my friends. I like them. They have a place in my home. You just got to deal with the fact that my floor is about as level and square as the Titanic. But yeah, it rolls pretty decent. That's nice. I like that. So I can move it around where I need to move it around. And I do like the slightly larger base. It does help. The pressure-treated 4x4s, 2x4s are untreated, but pressure-treated 4x4s give it a little bit more body down there. And yeah, overall, I'm happy enough with it. This wasn't a bad $100. What did I say? $108, I think, is what it currently was on Amazon until sale ends. But hold on. But yeah, this is. I mean, you can't expect so much from these, and everybody knows it. And my philosophy on it is, you know, if I bought the Vevor or the Harbor Freight, like I said, they were a good $50, $60 more than this. And I'd still be looking at doing the same upgrades. I'd still be looking at reinforcing the bed plate. I'd still be looking at doing the reinforcements on the C-channel. I'd still be looking at upgrading the 12-ton. I'd still be putting it on casters and building a different base for the bottom. So from my perspective, I'm not really out anything. I'm at the same starting point somebody else would be for a little bit less input, and that's fine. But yeah, I think this will get the job done. Still waiting on parts. Some of you independent suppliers that help out the communities and things like that and been making good quality parts for a long time, if you don't actually start manufacturing the custom parts that you are advertising as in stock and available on your websites, put some notice up there. You know, put a little tagline that says, hey, we don't do this until payment's cleared. So at least we know we're waiting a month and a half for stuff to come in with no updates or progress reports or anything. Sorry, getting a little agitated about a few key components that have yet to come out of processing status. So anyway, get out, have fun, and go do something you like.